All right, round 3 on the draw. We're going to keep this hand. It's a nice looking hand, too. Got perfect mana. Ah, red-blue. It's a good archetype. So we'll play the Concoction. All right. So, can pretty easily use Concoction and pitch a land if we have to. All right, I think we're just going to deal with the wolves now. So we'll pitch a swamp. So let's play the hunter. Certain Death and Concoction actually kind of work nicely in conjunction with each other since Concoction costs you a little bit of life. It's nice to give yourself a little more of a buffer zone. All right, that's actually not that big of a deal. So I have some concerns about getting tempoed here, which means I'm not going to flip my hunter. We're just going to eat the innkeeper and then attack. I guess I can actually stay back, but we can move ahead on the race relatively quickly, especially with the certain death. So I'm actually just going to attack. So can't quite get delirium yet. Not a big deal. The certain death's not going to get us there either. We're going to need a creature or an instant, of which we have plenty though. And yes, like I said, I'm basically exchanging 3 for 2, mostly because, well, this opponent got a okay. All right. Plus rush. Just trying to get some damage in. All right. Oh, to not flip our hunter as well. I guess that makes sense. All right. Well, we're going to flip our hunter now. Prefer to not use the certain death yet. Okay, very good. So let's eat that guy for breakfast. Gain some life and get a nice bash in on our opponent here. All right. No attacks from our opponent, no plays. All right. That was a good draw, actually. I mean, anything in non-land at this point is just fine with me. So let's swing with our Hunter. Opponent may be deciding whether it's worth busting some cooldowns here. Okay. So, pretty happy I don't have a field creeper out. That's not enough, by the way. Wow. I mean, honestly, opponent didn't end up too badly out of that. They get to draw a card. They get a 3-2. I mean, 3 cards total were used, but they end up with a card draw and a 3-2. So honestly, not that bad for my opponent. We do have Delirium now, which is nice. So if he attacks with the Horror, I am going to block because I think a lot of creatures are going to be able to block Field Creeper later. So I'd rather... I mean, the fact that my opponent is hesitant there, I guess, kind of tells me they don't have a creature follow-up, I guess. So maybe I do just attack here. All right. I mean, that trade is fine. All right. We haven't seen Duskfeaster this whole draft. Maybe we'll draw it right now. Captive is quite good. Can actually flip Captive now. I'm going to do that. I want to do it before my opponent draws a card. Alright, that's actually not that big of a deal. Probably a Scuttler. We passed that early. And then getting back the... Yeah, getting back the Uncaged Fury, I imagine. But we'll see. Back to Savage Alliance. Okay. So my opponent's going to be able to do it to my captive in response to the flip. So I basically have to leave 7 mana open at all times. All right, there's Survivalist though, which is also good. All right, well, let's play the captive and the Survivalist, I guess. So we'll pass. Opponent can get our captive now. Which I think they're going to do. They didn't. All right. That was a good draw. That was a good draw. So how much mana do I have? I have 8, 9. Oh, all right. So we'll murder the Scuttler. And we'll just swing with the Dryad and the Survivalist. Our opponent should have killed the captive when they had the chance. Now they're in pretty serious trouble. All right. Okay. So red-blue, value, not a spells deck, but a value deck, right? We see like some good fatties like Arsonist, Scuttler, Cultist, Wolves. So I think we're going to run it back again. Yeah, this is definitely a keep. Very nice hand. Got the chance to go captive into turn 3 Survivalist. Opponent is mulliganing. Very nice. No blue mana from our opponent. Certainly something worthy of noting. All right. So now I'll just be on the Morn Willow plan, which is fine. Start beats. Start the beats. That was a good draw. And you get to go Morn Willow into Survivalist. And we're in full-fledged beatdown mode. Don't really want to play the Dryad and the Creeper so much because we know our opponent's got a Savage Alliance. So just play one, not the other, until we can get our Delirium online. But hopefully with this grapple, that's not too difficult. Okay. All right. Let's swing with our Morn Willow. Not the best of trades, but works towards Delirium, which is fine. And we can actually maybe even bring it back at some point if we have to. Opponent still off of Blue mana. Well, spoke too soon. So if I draw an untapped land, I can actually grapple back into my Morn Willow and just swing for 7, which isn't bad. Might not be the optimal play, but I mean, grapple could also get us Delirium. Definitely has the chance to do that. Might be a good idea to just use grapple at instant speed. Like if, say my opponent has a Savage Alliance and they try and use it on Survivalist, we have a chance with this grapple to just get Delirium, and then it's a wasted Savage Alliance, which would be pretty awesome for us. Mercurial Geist. Well, I'm going to want to kill that. There's a Dire Swine. So let's swing with Survivalist. Scary thing about a Mercurial Geist is that it can kill you out of nowhere, especially in a deck that we already know has Uncaged Fury, Otherworldly Outburst. So Mercurial Geist is actually a pretty scary spell. Let's grapple now. So I can leave up the double black, but I'm not going to be able to get back a concoction. I think we just go like this. So we can get back a land, or we can get back the Morn Willow. If we get the land, we're guaranteed the Dire Swine next turn. That's probably the best bet. So I think we're going to take a land. If I played the Dryad, possibly would have attacked into the Geist better, but it is pretty amazing how quickly Mercurial Geist can kill you with Uncaged Fury helping it out. Like, you're usually just like a borrowed hostility. It's a 3-card combo. Yep, so he did have the Savage Alliance, unfortunately. We were concerned about that, but nothing to be done. Well, that's a good draw. Okay, let's bust out Dire Swine and pass. Okay, no big deal there. So clear shot is, oh man, we drew all the goodies here. All the goodies. So let's get in with Dire Swine. Let's murder the Geist. Play the Dryad. Yeah. Yeah, the nice thing is, it's kind of silly, but now we can just go like this and kill our opponent. Alright. Alright. So, yeah, ended up winning the draft. Deck looked very good. You know, I did say Eldritch Moon was very different than Shadows over Innistrad. One thing I've noticed is Green-Black is still excellent. Green-Black was excellent in Triple Shadows. Green-Black is excellent in Eldritch Moon Shadows. So some things don't change, I guess. Yeah, I've just had a tremendous amount of success with Green-Black. So take that as you will. But I mean, this build was very good. This build worked out very well for us. So still never got to resolve that Dusk Feaster, but hey, I'm not complaining. Didn't need it, obviously. So I hope you enjoyed the draft. Next one will be an 8-4. We'll see you then. Have a nice day, my friends.